All right, what's up, world? It's Andrew Murray tuning in with my favorite person in the whole world, Rich Conway, the one who helped us all start this Pay It Forward 2 movement. So everyone show your respect, find a nice place to sit down, somewhere quiet, and give the man some respect. Today we're gonna give you guys an interview about how things started between us and then where they are today. So pay attention and thanks for viewing. Press like and share if you like it.
Well, I don't know if you recall this the same way I do, but you were coming across the parking lot of the Witchmajigger. Uh, hmm. You were coming across the parking lot of the stagecoach,
Yeah.
and we were over by the creek. And you, I think, were looking for a cigarette or something like that. And I broke the filters off a couple of them and handed them to you. And I said, "Here, these are cigarettes that have filters on them. You
Mm-hmm.
get a good shot off these." And then I left. But that's how I met you.
Yeah.
And then you talked to Chevy, you talked to Don and stuff like that, and then they came in and talked to me about talking to you, and that's kind of how I got to know what you were about, more or less. And then, like the next day or a couple days later, something like that, I ran into you again, and I met Carly and Charlie, and
Yeah.
kind of got to the point where I met you and kind of got a feel for where you were coming from and what you were doing, what you were about. And as I said, I've never ever encountered anybody who was born on the same day I was,
Yeah.
and B that had just a sense of comfort. I didn't have any angst about being around you or talking to you. It's like I'd known you my whole life,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that's all about or what that means, but it's not a bad feeling.
No.
So that more or less explains how I met you and when I met you, and as if I recall, it was back like in June or something like that, or
Yeah.
late June, early July, or something like that.
So, you included in some of the friends you've been around, how do they react to me? What do they think of me?
Some of them think that you're ultra religious, and others think that you're um, chasing after something that is ages old and impossible to ever fathom. And the fact that you don't feel that way, nor do I. Neither of us seem to be the least bit flustered by the fact that, yeah, a lot of times gone under the bridge, but that's what one would expect to have happen
Yeah.
when one finds himself in the circumstances we find ourselves in now.
Yeah.
And as I look at the world we live in this day, I can't help but think that there's a lot, and I mean a lot, that isn't explained.
Right.
I mean, just time alone and circumstances alone have been omitted, and I just give my eye tooth to find out what happened here and what happened there, and where do I figure, where do I fit in all this?
Yeah.
And you've been kind enough to remind me of the fact that I've been here before and I've done this before, and it's not something that is totally surprising to me, but I am reticent to accept any accolades or anything like, because I'm not sure.
Right. Well, you're
And
needed in this story.
what's that?
You're needed in this story
Well,
still.
and I appreciate that, and as I said, I will avail myself in any way that I can, but at the same time, I want to be very, very careful
Right.
not to assume something that is not to be assumed.
Right.
It can't be assumed.
Right.
And the assumption that I feel in my heart of hearts is that my involvement in things has been a great deal more intimate than I want to admit,
Yeah.
than I wanted to recall.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I, for your understanding and my understanding, I have been in a great slumber. And I mean a slumber for the ages.
Yeah.
And it was more or less my way of keeping Mordred and Morgana off of me
Mm-hmm.
and keep myself free of their entanglements.
Yep.
And there's a great entanglement there that can turn me into a period at the end of a sentence, and I don't want to be that.
Yeah. Well,
I
rest
just see much
assured,
life.
you have many people who love you still to this day. You don't know, and I'll protect you. Don't worry about those two punks. They're just punks. We represent good, and we believe in good. And if they come with us with evil, they're gonna walk away with tears in their eyes, feeling good. That's how I feel, and that's what I promise you. Is like nothing's gonna happen to you. You've enjoyed your life. You've been a great dad. You've a kid like me, an orphan. You inspired me when I was in a suicidal moment in my life. You really helped me. You gave me something to do. Pay it forward and get out there and try to help the people in this pandemic time. So I don't care what history says. In my history book, you go down as a hero. So I wanted to thank you for that.
Well, and I appreciate that. And like I said, it can do nothing but make the person feel good when they realize that anyone, is struggling with something, and you're able to, through your example, through your just being
Yeah.
who you are, can save that person or help that person, save them a lot of time and energy in making things a little more simple or more endurable. It's real easy for people to look at other people suffering and say, "Well, thank God that isn't me."
Right.
Well, it is me.
Yeah.
There isn't a single person that suffers in this world that I don't feel their suffering. I don't join in their suffering
Right.
because suffering is something that is universal. It's one man's harm is all men's harm.
Yes.
All lives matter, like you say.
Yep.
It's not just one life; it's the entire program. And the day has come, and the day will come again when we're all going to realize there's not a single bit of difference between any of us.
Right.
We're all the same person. We're all the same package. We're all the same flesh and
Yep.
blood and bones.
And we need each other now more than anyone really realizes with the pandemic and with this huge, weird governmental change that's going on. So people, we the people, we are the people. So just to confirm that, man, when I needed you the most, you were there for me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And as I said, I hope if that incident ever arises again, that I can be there again.
Yeah.
And not just for you, but for anybody. And the fact is, I feel a sense of betrayal on the part of my body towards me because I'm getting old. And when you get old, things that worked one way when you were younger
Yeah.
don't work that way now.
Right.
And that tends to really and truly get in your head, and it kind of hurts you a little bit.
Yeah.
And as I say, the things that I'm being explained, you let this get out of hand, and it gets too far out of hand, you can't undo what's done, and you die from it. And I don't want to ever let that happen.
Right.
I want to be able to shortstop anything. And thus far, my life has always been when things that should kill me, don't. There's a reason for it.
Right.
And it's not just what I do. I think there's something beyond me, beyond what I understand or know or see, that says, no, it's not your time. You're not going anywhere.
Right.
You stick around for a while. And that to me is, I'm encouraged by that.
You're still needed.
I'm happy by that. I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Cool.
And I feel needed.
Yeah. Yes, sir. You very much are.
I feel a sense of worth.
Yeah. Well, and you never know, your videos really might save the world, So we just got to be patient and let God work his way through them. So on that note, out of the new teachings after the Pay It Forward video, like the keys, the hockey puck, the bow, the feathers teachings, which teaching kind of stood out for you?
Well, the feathers makes a lot of difference to me, but I think the hockey puck more than anything. My recollection of the only hockey puck I've ever been intimate with was in such a way that I will never forget it. The hockey puck to me is something that bears understanding, because the way you explain it is not unlike the way it meets itself out.
Right.
Not all people are fortunate enough to pick it up off the floor because it hit the wall behind them. It hits them in the head.
Yeah. And that's what happened to you.
Yeah, that's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, okay. And you got people who work for the stadium come over, and they want to see how many stitches you need. And there's a doctor right there who can stitch you up. And it's a pretty interesting deal. But it's like baseball or anything.
Yeah.
You can't catch every foul ball. You can't stop. Sooner or later, something's going to get through it.
Yeah.
In my case, it got to me.
I love that because it's a metaphorical example of when people realize that they are in spiritual warfare, it'll probably hit them in the head like a hockey puck.
That kind of does, yeah. You go like, hey, this is for real.
Yeah.
This is not a drill.
Right. So, yeah, and then on that note, you gifted me, I have a crystal skull, and then you had a crystal skull, but you told me that you're getting it into this point of life where you want me to become the protector and guardian of it.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'd also like to see if having the two of them together has any kind of an effect on either of them,
yeah,
or on what either of them are capable of, or incapable. I don't know.
huh,
I don't know. I
yeah,
know so little about it, and I lucked into it. I dumb lucked into it.
yeah,
It wasn't something that I was. Oh gosh, I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. I wasn't looking for. I was looking for something entirely different.
right,
I was looking for huge empty spaces in the ground where I was convinced people had lived for thousands of years.
yeah,
And to this day, I'm talking Navajo and Ute, Indian peoples who obviously, if they frequented the area and populated the area, they must have known there were underground capabilities and
yeah,
that underground security, and there are places in the Cave of the Winds where I could gladly live.
yeah,
I wouldn't think twice about it. And I was raised by my educator in a crystal cave,
yeah, yes,
and
sir,
that to me was a miracle existence
yeah,
because I got to enjoy the birth and the death of magic and the very existence of magic
yeah,
because of that crystal cave. And it's something I'll never forget. So in a way, I was kind of hoping and praying that who knows, maybe I can find a crystal cave.
yeah,
But instead, I found a crystal skull.
yeah, yes,
So
sir, just like
so
mine.
and I trust you emphatically, Andrew, and I just know that I'm not somebody who I just don't possess things well. I
Okay,
mean, I never have anything material, especially if it's of interest to other people,
yeah,
can very quickly be removed from my presence, and I have no clue about it.
right,
And maybe days or weeks before I realize, oh, that's gone.
huh,
And I have no clue as to who did it or why. So I think it's in much safer hands with you. And if it isn't, and it becomes a problem for you, holler at me and I'll take it back off your hands.
yeah. No one else would. I would never give it away. Or I do any. I just protect it like I have my own. But for me and who we are, like, I feel chosen and like I'm supposed to do the best that I can to protect our skulls and our truths, and do the best I can to help the world be a better place. So I feel like the skulls should kind of help people realize that there's something special going on with us, because not everybody has crystal skulls, Rich.
No,
They're
no,
very rare.
no.
So
And as I said, I'm delighted in the fact that this came to me the way it did. The kind of dumb luck, and it didn't take me any hard sweating or trials and tribulations. I kind of just dumb lucked into it. And once I had it, I thought, man, Andrew's got to see this. He just got to see
yeah,
this.
I was shocked. I was like, no way, he found it. Like, yes, he got his stuff. We're good. We got this. So, well, anyways, I promise to honor what you asked of me, to protect it and to show discernment with it and to use it only to teach people who need inspired to get out there and live their lives. And yeah, just to remind you, like, the world, they appreciate you, man. There's a lot of people who hit me up every day about the Pay It Forward videos. And I hope my teachings kind of help them understand what you're trying to say. And then I like the bow teaching, if you were wondering, because it's a way for people to treat people better in this time. Uh, it's a bow teaching that should eliminate the use of a bow, you know?
Well, and the fact is, we all have one another to rely on, and if we don't accept one another as fellow members of the human race,
Yeah,
that's all. People say, well, people get mad at me about this. I say, he's a human being for God's sake. She's a human being for God's sake.
yeah,
And that's what
the,
occurs to me above and beyond anything and everything else
yeah,
is they're human beings. And I've been wronged by human beings, and that's been when I have been called upon to be merciful,
yeah,
and to be able to turn the other cheek and say, here, go right ahead on, smack me with the other one. And as I said with the crystal skull, it occurred to me, if I don't give it to somebody who understands the true value of it and understands that it's not something that just falls out of the sky and hits a person in the head,
no,
that he will have a much, much better time overseeing its well-being than I would. I'm somebody who it's like money and stuff. I just don't really care,
right,
and that's not a damning statement. It's just literally, I find, if I'm honest with myself, I'm not a very good guardian of anything.
Well,
My own brains, for instance.
well, I think you guarded your lifeline long enough for me to get to, and you have no idea how the slum you pulled me out of and how much inspiration you've gave me. And I hope that I grow up and make you proud. And the things that I do, I hope that they directly link to the fact that they rippled from your seed of life that you gave me through wisdom.
No,
And
you already have made me proud, and like I said, I didn't know you until last June, and my life was an entirely different life at that time, and my life has changed considerably because I do know you, and I thank you for that. And it's something that what it does is it's reawakened a possibility in me that I never really accepted as doable or as something that would actually could actually happen. And you've helped me see it is happening,
yeah,
whether I like it or not, whether I believe it or not. There's something happening, and I'm an integral part in it. And whatever part that is, I want to try and play that part and be the best player I can possibly be.
well, you didn't really have to play any act. You're a great elder. You're a great mentor, and me as like your student and someone who looks up to you and respects you, like I will never let the world say anything less about you.
Well, I appreciate that, and
Yeah,
as I said, I don't uh, I don't really foresee that the world will have any kind of kind statement for me in the long run. Or whatever. People can run right over me as far as I'm concerned. But the truth of the matter is, I know in my heart of hearts that what I've been taught and the way I've been taught and the way I've been raised is something that makes me believe in not only myself, but the people around me and the people that I love and care about.
sweet.
And in that knowledge and in that, I'm secure in that knowledge. I'm secure in that faith.
Right on.
Those are not things I have to be concerned with or worried about. And anybody who finds that to be unbearable or sickening or whatever, well, so be it. That's their problem, not mine.
Yeah,
You know, they
for
can go
sure.
ahead and be sick of it. I don't care.
Yep.
The fact is, it is what it is, and I will live it to the best of my ability and try to be the best me I can possibly be.
Right on. Same here. I look up to that, and I will be watching these videos to give me a juiced up
Right
reminder.
on, bro.
And I think this is important for the world to see. So I appreciate the video and the interview.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Like I said, we only get one shot at this life.
Yeah,
And if we don't really and truly try to do something good with it and something demonstrative, something that will last well beyond our life, well beyond our being here,
yeah,
then and like God said, everything under the sun has happened before us. Somebody or something has come and gone. And it may have been me, it may have been you,
yeah,
and it may still be me.
yeah,
And the fact is, I don't shrink from that or run from that. I accept it as one of the possibilities.
yeah.
And if that's what God intends for me, so be it. Then that's what it'll be.
Right,
And I'll be that person until I can't be.
right.
You know, and that means until I stop breathing.
Yeah.
So
Well, and when that day comes, as soon as you turn into Angel, please go and check on my son and see how he's doing.
I will.
All right, cool.
I will.
All right, that's all I ask. Because I know you'll be a big angel with lots of wings, so I know that he'll feel your presence, and I believe in you.
Well, and like I said, he needs to know that his dad is somebody that is steadfast in his beliefs and steadfast in his efforts, and that is something that I admire about you, and I can't find fault in. I am less of a doer than you are, and you're a doer, and you encourage me to do and make me feel good about doing it,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to know that.
Well, you're wisdom, so I have less wisdom than you, and if it wasn't for you, I don't think I'd do anything. So, you and the ones that inspired you to save the world, I hope that I make them proud too. But they need to know that you're the one who really sparked it in a youngster to do something about this. So,
Well, I think I told you I never ever want to forget what it was like to be young.
right,
I posed that point to myself and said, Richard, you know what it felt like. You know the awkward feeling. You know the uncertainty. You know the difficulty, and all of these people are out there in that same malaise. And if you don't step out there and say, hey, you know, you're right on target. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be okay. What
Yeah.
you need to do is love yourself, love the people around you, do the best you can to be the best you.
Yes, sir.
As long as you do that, man, everything else will fall into place. Try your hardest to help other people through service to others.
Yes,
Is
sir.
where we gain our wealth. Not the money in our pockets or the cars we drive
No.
or the girlfriends we. It's how well we serve our fellow man,
Yeah.
and
Taking those feathers to
that's the
heaven.
important part.
Yep.
That will make the difference in the long run. That makes us angels on this planet.
Yeah. Yes,
You
sir.
know, the angels within our angels on earth.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're in the outfield or what, but we can do a good job whatever we do.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I love you, Rich, and the world loves you too, and we appreciate you.
Likewise, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
God bless you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Be safe.